So nine, like head game. Like you've been able to, I saw you do it. I saw you get the electronic files, the PDFs of those fraudulent fake IDs that the Houston Police Department printed up. I saw you do it. I think it was in December of 2018. It might have been November. I remember it was a cold night, it was rainy, and I saw you do it. I saw you download all the PDFs, and they were on cut sheets. It was strange. It was like when you were at like the old time newspapers and they're like printing. You got the print run of the newspapers, but it was pictures of the women, mostly women. I'm sure it wasn't exclusively women, but there was a specific request for the ones with the women. And, earlier in the year, they already had the scene where they had the board up and you could see the headshot of the woman that came from the ID, and then you saw the guys or the possible guys that had been selected as being options to ride her because her identification documents had been used as a security on a particular maritime vessel. So, as necessary, there were people probably to deal with some sort of racial justice quota that were allowed to claim or commandeer her vessel. And then a little later in the year, somebody sent the actual electronic records of the fake IDs that were created from women, specifically women, identified to have some sort of mental illness. So if you're doing the Enneagram of personality disorders, then number nine, line nine, is a great place to put in your prescription to telemedicate whoever comes up or to whoever her identification accounts have been assigned to. And then you go down to 64 and you have your boys ready for deployment, don't you? To ping her, to engage her in some random conversation, maybe to take a picture of her while she's sitting at the train stop and they just act like, what? I'm not doing anything. I mean, truthfully, that matter it might be they are not actually conscious of what they're doing, right? You got enough cameras to make sure that they did. And when it comes time for the deposit, you've got all of the investor presentations already hooked up with the SEC for the companies of concern. So if I think I'm driving my own vehicle and I'm trying to look up information about an executive order, every time I click on that page, there's a potential payout, isn't there? Especially if I do something like this. And now, am I supposed to put a link to your page specifically? Because does that imply that I've consented to this? Or are you trying to get me to play one of those Clinton ladies and maybe try to get you to give me some civil fee? Am I supposed to report it to your, I don't know, hotline? Am I supposed to contact the SEC so then they can tell me to report it to the local police and then somebody at the local police can put his name on it? And then what? I just want to know, how does it get to the guy who financed the infrastructure for the video games? Because he comes up on my radar all the time. As a matter of fact, every time I try to get a job, his name and his company specifically already has a whole bunch of stuff from me in their portfolio. So if I've got to pay off or pay some deal to him because I'm trying to look up your executive order, wouldn't it just behoove all of us to let me go directly? I mean, aren't there transaction fees? Aren't there broker's fees? Aren't there taxes? All of that is so wasteful. How are you ever going to verify that you're this competent at command and control of all of those women that would be completely incapable of doing anything on their own unless you were giving us our medicine? It's a lot of credit you're not able to actually verify. And I'm pretty sure that's the kind of credit you intend to float the economy the rest of the year for at the basic level, right? That's why all those bills are about opportunity zones, like the hemp opportunity zone, right? Are you trying to pay off people in industry to help you bankrupt the federal government to set up narco cartelizations? I think I think that was the accusation, wasn't it? I think that was the accusation. Why does your back end look so precise and so well defined and so masked? And the legislature's doesn't. I don't know. I don't check out my back end. I don't. It's vain. It's vain. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, if you've got that PDF, can you get me an official printout of that document you already used for those executive commissions from 2017? Because I'm trying to do my closeout reports, right? Just like I know you and all of those companies that are back encoded into this executive order are, right? I think they got what, 10 days? 10 days. And now I know if anything happens on the 11th day, you're the one to go to.